Angela Rayner recently found herself in an excruciatingly awkward moment during a tense interview as she was put on the spot over a past remark she allegedly made. The grilling began when she was asked whether she once said that Keir Starmer couldn't run a bath. Rather than outright confirming or denying the statement, Rayner responded with a vague and dismissive, "I don't recognize that." The uncomfortable exchange didn't end there. When pressed further about whether she had previously referred to Prince Andrew as a NS, she gave the exact same response, dodging the question without actually addressing it. This kind of evasiveness only added to the impression that she was floundering under pressure. Instead of presenting a clear and confident defense, Rayner came across as shifty and unconvincing, leaving viewers cringing at the spectacle. In today's video, we'll be watching and reacting to this footage, breaking it all down while covering the latest news from across the country. But first, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and join our fast-growing community. We're on the road to 10,000 subscribers, and we couldn't have done it without you. Thank you for your incredible support. To celebrate, we're giving away £1,000 to 10 lucky winners, £100 each. Here's how to enter. Subscribe to our channel. Like this post. Drop your postcode in the comments. Once we hit 10,000 subscribers, we'll randomly select the winners. Don't miss your chance to be part of the £1,000 giveaway. Start now, and it could be you.
A new book reports that you said he couldn't run a bath. Did you say that?
Well, I'm not, there's a lot of things that were said in that book that I don't recognise, to be honest.
So
and
did you not say that?
And it's tittle tattle, so I don't recognise what was said in that book.
But that's not tittle tattle, that's what the woman who's now the Deputy Prime Minister is reported to have said about the now Prime Minister.
Sure, and there was lots of other things that people have said about me or anyone else, and no, I don't recognise ever saying that to anybody. I've worked with Keir now for a number of years now. I am straight talking. Me and Keir don't always agree on everything.
You probably know I'm going to ask you this question, and you might want to bat it away the same way you did the last one. Did you refer to a member of the royal family as something I'm not sure we're allowed to say on a Sunday morning, but in case we can bleep it out, did you suggest...
Again, I'm not making any comments about what said or not said in
somebody... Did you deny that you called a member of the royal family a nonce?
Said in a book. I'm not making any comment on what somebody suggests was said in a book, or actually the private conversations that I did have during the passage of the bill, which did get passed, and I did pass the bill, and I wholeheartedly supported the government at the time in passing the line of succession bill through Parliament.
But you're not denying it?
As I've said, the bill was passed. I had conversations with the government of the time and the civil servants around how that bill gets through Parliament, and that bill went through Parliament without any problems, and I led that piece of work.
This is how people reacted. This user said, "Angela Rayner is such a poor liar. How did she ever become a politician?" Red commented, "It's painful to watch. How has a dim-witted, uneducated half-wit like this managed to get to the position of Deputy PM? It's extraordinary." Another user stated, "I don't recognise that. These people have zero integrity, none. Sociopaths, narcissists, and psychopaths, the lot of them. Devoid of empathy or integrity." Steve said, "She's as thick as mince, that one. When you add Lammy, Miliband, and all the rest of the front bench to the equation, you know this country is buggered for at least the next 4 years." John noted, "She is awkward because she is lying. She does recognise what she had previously said. She just does not want to acknowledge it." Joe remarked, "Isn't this known as dissociative identity disorder? A serious psychiatric problem which qualifies a person to be sectioned." John added, "Rayner is an embarrassment. Stand by what you have said. Like a cheap suit, it never looks good after it's had one wear. Rayner, you are already known for backtracking, so don't lie." Drake said, "Wow, wow, wow. Talk about caught out. What are your thoughts on this? Let me know in the comments." In other news, Keir Starmer's trips abroad cost British taxpayers £700,000 during his first 3 months as Prime Minister. The sum of the Labour leader's foreign flights cost £61,000 more than the combined total of his Tory predecessors, Rishi Sunak, Boris Johnson, and Liz Truss, within the same time frame. As Prime Minister, Starmer has also spent more time overseas in his first 6 months than the 3 who came before him. The Mail on Sunday reports that he has been criticised for his affinity for overseas travel, earning him the nickname Never Here. Tory MP Paul Holmes said, "This is the height of hypocrisy from the Labour Party, who banged on about flights in opposition." Polling company More in Commons Luke Tryl stated, "Starmer hasn't done a good job of explaining why his trips benefit people at home. Government documents show that Starmer's trips have included one flight to New York for the UN General Assembly, costing $236, almost twice the cost of taking Truss to the same event 2 years prior. When he travelled to Germany with a family member via private jet to see the Euro 2024 final, he was accused of hypocrisy, given his previous attacks on Rishi Sunak for using private jets. In total, Starmer's flights between July and September cost the taxpayer £697,500. Luke Tryl further added, "It is striking that people in our focus groups since the autumn have been raising concerns that Keir Starmer always seems to be abroad. Perhaps most importantly, Starmer hasn't done a good job of explaining why his trips benefit people here at home." Meanwhile, flights for Foreign Secretary David Lammy cost more than £900,000 from July to September, a figure similar to those of his predecessors David Cameron and James Cleverly. A Downing Street source stated, since taking office in July, the Prime Minister and his cabinet have worked tirelessly to rebuild the diplomatic bridges burned by the Tories during 14 years of chaos and decline, which have weakened Britain's influence abroad and made us more vulnerable at home. A Foreign Office spokesman added, the Foreign Secretary's job requires him to travel abroad to pursue the UK's interests. This Foreign Secretary remains committed to ensuring the most cost-effective way of travel, delivering the best value for money for the taxpayer. Lastly, Prince Harry criticises weak moral character in the world during a powerful speech at the Invictus Games opening ceremony in Vancouver. In his first public statement after Donald Trump's remarks about Meghan Markle, the Duke of Sussex addressed a crowd of 40,000 at BC Place Stadium on Saturday. Speaking of the difficulty and division in many parts of the world, Harry delivered a heartfelt message. Trump had previously commented on the possibility of deporting the Duke from the U.S., dismissing the idea and stating, the royal has enough problems with his wife. He also described the Duchess of Sussex as terrible. During his speech, Prince Harry said, at this moment, when there is no shortage of crisis, no absence of uncertainty, no lack of weak moral character in the world, the values you embody, the way you carry yourselves not only at the Invictus Games, but each and every day, your courage, your resilience, your humanity illuminate a path forward for us all. The Duke and Duchess appeared together at the opening ceremony of the Games, which Prince Harry founded in 2014. Speaking to competitors, Prince Harry reflected on the Games' origins. The Invictus Games began from a promise I made to myself after my military service. Over the past decade, I've lost count of the times we've heard you tell us that the Invictus Games saved you. Respectfully, I disagree. Invictus didn't save you, you saved yourselves. The opening ceremony featured performances by international music stars Chris Martin and Katy Perry. Prince Harry delivered his speech between musical acts at the packed BC Place Stadium. The event marked another milestone for the Invictus Games, which have grown significantly since their establishment as a sports competition for wounded service members and veterans. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex presented a united front at the opening ceremony, sharing a passionate kiss before Prince Harry delivered his speech. Meghan, wrapped in a cream trench coat against Canada's frosty temperatures, was seen snuggling into her husband as she watched from the stands. What are your thoughts on what we discussed in today's video? Let me know in the comments section below. If you haven't already, make sure to drop a like on this video and subscribe to the channel for more British content.